everyone, this is Archana here. Welcome to another Power Talk with me. Today we'll be talking about human resources, more so in today's time when everything seems to have come to a standstill, more in the professional world and around the globe in our economy. Who else other than Raj Gupta can throw more light on this? My guest Raj Gupta is a part of my professional network and based in Gurugram, India. He's the author of several books, a top HR influencer. Raj has a splendid career for more than 2 decades in human resources, serving the best of corporates across the globe. He's a fellow and honorary chair India for Leaders Excellence Harvard Square, awarded with hundreds HR Super Achiever in India by the World HRD Congress, and he's a perfect combination of operations, HR, learning and development. What else can you ask for? Let's hear it from the man himself, Raj Gupta. Hello, Raj. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be part of your show, Archana. Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure is all ours, Raj. Thanks a lot for coming over. So, Raj, a lot has changed over past few months because of extended lockdowns in our professional world as a whole. What do you see the role of human resources in the current scenario, how they have emerged, how their roles have changed overnight to help the community as a whole?
When we look at a role of HR and look at the context that is social mobility, cloud analytics, alongside chatbots, virtual reality, augmented reality, that was already shifting the business landscape. We were already talking about non-linear growth. Now, the COVID scenario has accelerated the pace of that change.
Right.
And role that I saw, coming in since then for the last few years was threefold. One, HR is going to play a role of consultant. They are going to help managers become better people leaders. Another role that I see for HR is a conscious keeper of the organization. That's where the values, that's where the culture of the organization comes into play. Third, which is also going to be important, is to be custodian role that HR is going to play. When I look at the transitional spectrum of HR, that is going to be, kind of outsourced and would be done by companies who will bring a scale. So this will help existing organization in cost optimization. Entire transitional spectrum from hire to retire cycle will get outsourced in my view, and HR will need to focus on these three areas, as I said: be a consultant, conscious keeper, and custodian.
Wow, I think these are the three golden rules you have given to us. Three very important statements about the roles and the emerging roles of HR. They are no more considered as the bearers of the bad news. They are there to evolve and help the employees emerge as better professionals, create a better environment for their growth, and obviously meet the goals of the company as a whole. I think this is one thing people need to really understand and reflect on, that they see their human resource managers as their friend, as a companion in their professional life. Great. I think that is wonderful. We have spoken about human resources, but what about the employees, the professionals who have been laid off, who have been given that pink slip? I think it's a big change for them. They have been working and being very loyally working for the organizations. Now they have gotten affected by the entire scenario. So what about them now, in reference to the HR and the relationship of the employee? Where is this entire scene going?
I think, as Toffler says, that illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. It is important for people who are either working or laid off to focus on their capability building and understand, the way we have learned in the historical past, that we must focus on building our capability, identify areas that would be required from a future standpoint, and work on that. So learning agility as such is going to play a critical role, not only for people who have unfortunately laid off, but also for those people who are working. So they need to, be high on learning agility and
Right.
reskill or upskill themselves as required.
Right. I think quite right. Learning is an ongoing process and should never stop. And this is one factor that actually, accentuates our growth and, is the main catalyst for the growth people can expect in today's time, no matter how long you've been working for an organization, whatever you have your experience with. Today, it's not about titles you hold. It's only about what you can bring to the table at the end of the day. So we need to upgrade and upskill ourselves. Very rightly said, Raj. But, also we cannot forget that companies have been involved in employee engagement programs. They have been giving workshops and trainings to help managers upskill themselves. We have seen people with mediocrity or excellence in their area of operations, but then it is the task of the team as a whole, especially the human resource managers, the employee engagement teams, to bring that down and find out how the assets of each employee can be further enhanced. So with this scenario where people are working from home, and I must confess, I mean, professionals have actually, taken this in their stride. They have started, embracing this, that this is going to be the way of life, going forward. People are happy working from home now, because that is the only way, one can see through it. Now, what does the learning and the transformation and the engagement programs that used to happen from the company side is going to take shape? What shape is that going to take now?
I think when I look at future of, post-COVID scenario, when I try to peep into it, I see three primary trends. One is future of work and workplaces is going through a major shift, wherein we are not only going to question office designs, but efficacy or question will come in: do we need offices as such, particularly for the service industry? So that is one side where future of work and workplaces will undergo a major shift. Second major trend that I see, there is a monumental shift when it comes to learning and education industry. So learning industry is going through a mammoth shift, and education industry is left with no choice but to leapfrog when it comes to digital learning. So if you look at even kids at primary level are now doing online education, and if you see it from teaching community standpoint, they were not used to it, but now they are getting used to it. So the way I look at it, what a learning industry or education industry would have achieved in the next decade, they would achieve that in next 1 year, and there is no other choice about that. And there is a huge advantage because for the last few years, as I said, social mobility, cloud analytics, alongside artificial intelligence, chatbots, robotics was already taking shape. So EdTech has made real progress in the last few years, and it makes it easier for education industry to change their delivery mechanisms.
Right. I think very rightly said.
Yes. I think it is very important for us, all of us, particularly our friends in small and medium businesses, to understand gig economy is going to skyrocket amidst these job losses. So the people who are working from their homes, who are, one-man show or one-man enterprises, they are going to get hugely benefit because they would be in a position to provide quality, and I say it like Japanese quality is a Chinese price. So some of the small to medium organization would find it difficult to get the services of large corporates because it costs more money. But they would be able to tap in these individuals or entrepreneurs who are just ramping up their operations. Right. So having said that, coming to my books, I have written so far 5 books, and my objective was that I should write across the spectrum of HR. So one of my book, Walk Through HR Maze, is for MBA students and the people who are for 1 or 2 years in HR industry. So it gives them a understanding of entire spectrum of HR and make them, job ready from a corporate exposure standpoint. Because we keep talking about it, there is a gap between industry and academia. So this try to bridge in that gap and gives them the tools and practices that make them, more able and more ready to join corporates. So that's
Wow.
one. Second, I did for middle managers, uh, because in our industry, particularly, I can talk about the IT and ITS industry where
Right.
4.5 million workforce, is there. We
Absolutely.
promote people for their operating excellence. Uh, Somebody is good, and then customer is happy, and then we align, over a period of time, 4 to 6 people with them as their, subordinates. However, do not train them enough. So genesis of my second book, which is Caterpillar to Catalyst, it talks about 25 plus lessons which first time managers need to imbibe to become leaders over a period of time. So
Wow.
that was my second. Third, in our industry, from a HR fraternity standpoint, diversity and inclusion has become a very significant topic. Worldwide, there is
Absolutely.
a lot of attention on that. And I have tried to tackle that subject through a fiction, which is,
Yeah.
the title of the book is Workplace Romance and Its Perils, wherein I have touched upon web of relationship that exists in the corporate world. I have touched upon diversity and inclusion, LGBT side. I have also touched upon posh related stuff. So this was my
Yeah.
first fiction as such. Uh, so so that's my third book. And another book that I did, Go and Get Your Success, was for leadership. So
Yeah.
I Yes. So one of my friend from education fraternity, we came together and we said, why don't we create our own models?
Yeah.
So we decided to create 10 models, and
Wow.
through storytelling, deliberate upon them. And it was altogether a very different experience to work with an educationist of versus,
That caliber.
because the way we work in corporate is very different, and the thought process that an educationist bring is very different. So it was a
Right.
wonderful collaboration with Dr. Arun Sachar, who brings in roughly 3 decades of experience. And I also added significantly to my experiential learning while doing that work.
Great.
And fifth is
Great.
more about uh, the poetry compilation of the poetry that me and my wife has written. So these are the 5 books so far that I've done.
Great. I think, yeah, I think this is a wonderful endeavor from your end to make your experience, actually put in a form of a book. I think this is wonderful. So, viewers out there, this is your book. You can lay your hands on and detangle your success stories, and take the path to success. I think that is absolutely wonderful. Raj, you've really spoken about very relevant points here, and I'm sure many are going to benefit out of this. You've given us a much clearer picture, and also given people a chance to understand that yes, this is the time to collaborate, and not, because it has definitely going to open a lot of doors for us, lot of opportunities for us, people who are working from home. We're not only talking about entrepreneurs, we're talking about a lot of opportunities for everyone in every sector. So I think it's a great thing. People can definitely bank on these things. What else would you like to add, as we would like to wind up this lovely conversation with you? Last few points for them to understand that yes, this is not the end of the road.
So as I see, offices existed uh, to encourage engagement, collaboration, and camaraderie. The key challenge that is going to be at the forefront of leadership mindset across industry is how to replicate the similar experience through the virtual.
Yes, you're very right in saying so. The company needs to replicate that entire scene, virtually now, to make sure that the learning, the engagement, the selling, the motivation, nothing changes. It remains as it is. But it also brings us to the focus that the professionals are the backbone of the company, and that is the reason the companies today are trying hard to replicate the camaraderie they were trying, and the engagement and the collaborations they have been working on in the office scenario to bring it virtually. So I think that's a very good news for the professionals. If there is, they are there for the companies, and the companies are there for them. So they all work hand in hand with both collaborations working. Great. Thank you, Raj. Thanks a lot for throwing light on this topic, human resources. Everybody has been in a dilemma in thinking what's happening next to them in the professional world. Thank you so much for coming on board and giving your valuable time and, of course, your knowledge and sharing your experiences with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Archana. It has been a pleasure talking to you. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You
Thank you.
too. The man who believes in lift others and get lifted. It's all about collaboration, growth, leadership, and all of it in the right direction. It's all about the camaraderie, motivation, the learning experiences that companies have been busy creating in the offices will now be creating the same influence and same infrastructure for online trainings and motivation for all their employees. This gives a clear indication that employees have been and will always remain the backbone of the country. The human resources are working towards it. And this is a very good news for the entire community out there. I wish each and every one of you to stay hopeful and grab these opportunities as they come your way. Wishing you all the best and stay tuned for more.